Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. We're going to be playing a new game here, 1936 start date. Might try the 1939 at some point for Poland. But yeah, we're going to be playing as Communist China, so a new region of the world. I know I've centred a lot around the Balkans. I do find them some of the more fun nations to play in the starting game. But yeah, this is another one I find quite fun, which is Communist China. Okay, so the first thing we really want to do is we want to look to attack our neighbours early. Now, this is set to historical, but you know, I'm going to play a little bit unhistorical. I could try and play and then attack my neighbours afterwards, but I think this is maybe my favourite way to play. So we'll go with the basic opening of research, basic machine tools, just to up our production. We're going to grab all our units, we're going to pop them under the one Juntan template. And then obviously Mao Zedong and who's the best here? Lin Bao for his mountain attack. I mean, we start in nothing but mountains, so might as well use someone who's good at mountains. Okay, so we're gonna shift click, train our troops up. We're using this lighter template just so we can try and build up more troops as the game goes on, and we will obviously upgrade the template as we go. But we're going to use this as our base template for now. Actually, let's go in as well and just make sure that we set them to default equipment priority. I don't think it should matter because I don't think we're going to produce any other troops, but let's just make sure that we have them with good priority. But there we go, land redistribution. So now we go to the Yan base area, which will give us a little bit more infrastructure. And yeah, some more building slots for factories. Okay, so we are going to look to attack Xinjiang later. Obviously we need to get access to them first, but yeah, we will look to attack them, so we'll probably justify them while we're fighting one of our neighbours, because you do get a slight bonus as well to justifying when you're already in a war, I believe. Okay, so we're researching towards that focus now. This next one will give us some division attack and defense. Haven't actually seen the... I didn't actually see the border incident on my last playthrough. We are using lesser templates, but you know what, let's see if we can get an early win over them. Because I think actually having that bigger border with Jibdi-Sanma would be such a huge bonus to us. So let's get our troops on that front so we can immediately throw them into the combat. Does look like they are bringing some troops down as well, but just hoping we can sort of hit them with overwhelming firepower. We did the planning speed just to see if planning bonus might also help us. But yeah, so we'll just sort of wait for that to fire while our focuses continue to tick down. Okay. Okay, so you click it to escalate. Okay, 50, 60. Obviously can't send these guys in, but might as well always try. They've got nothing else to do at the moment. Okay, so we are about to get a 5% buff to attack and defense, so we'll see what happens there. Let's also get this expert who gives us 10% more attack, so we should be coming at them with, I don't know if it compounds or not, but at least 15% more attack. No, that bubble is just keep flickering red, green and yellow. So I don't think we are going to win this one unless they suddenly have a lot of reinforcement ticks come down. But hey, we'll see what happens. And we'll continue to produce more units, ready for the actual big wars. Oh, there is this button to escalate, but I think we'll just do it through the focuses because it's easier than wasting the 200 political power to escalate the war escalate into a war. Okay. Just keep training up our units. And here we go. So focus is completed now. We've jumped into the war. And now the aim is I managed to push through this northern tile because I think a lot of their troops are wrapped up on the southern border in that in the border skirmish, which actually may not be a bad reason to do it because you do immediately tie in 6 of their forces. And now we're going to try and quickly snake around, grab the victory points, see if we can just get some big encirclements on their forces and make sure that we just have free reign to sort of rush through their country. So actually I think maybe the border skirmish isn't too bad of a way to go, considering the fact that now we've got, you know, well, we've got them pretty much tied in there on the front while we snake around with our troops. Now I know you could probably make a cavalry division and do this faster, but you know what, this works perfectly at an alright pace for me. And we'll just continue to stick everything onto guns. We'll grab ourselves a silent workhorse just to increase the amount of political power we're getting. So I think because we now own a certain amount of states, we lose that cornered no more, because I know you normally lose that after taking out Shaanxi. So it's probably something to do with the amount of states that I have, unless I'm wrong. But yeah. And there we go, Japanese Samar actually fell very quickly. We didn't even need to push in that much. Normally you have to push right out far to the west of them. But yeah, that was quite good. Okay, and now immediately we're going to throw our guys onto the front line against Shaanxi. Exact same strategy. It's a little bit harder because it's more mountainous, but they have less divisions, I think. So these are normally the ones I go for first to increase that border with Japanese Samar, but because we were already in that battle, I just decided I'd continue on with them. But yeah, so the plan is to snake in. We're going to justify on Xinjiang at the same time, just to try and keep them or get them into the war, because we really need to get them quickly before Japan goes in on China, because obviously when Japan goes in on China there's a chance that they may form the United Front then and there, and I think there's a few focuses they might do, so we just want to try and grab them before the United Front forms, otherwise we're going to have to fight them again at the end of the war. And obviously if we're going for reconquering all of China, it'll be easier not to have a northern neighbour that we may have to fight again, so it just means we can focus our troops southwards. Okay. There we go, see if we can push this guy in just to hold that tile. Maybe meanwhile guy can snake to the capital. Just snake up and around these divisions here, try and keep cutting them off, encircling them, and ultimately just grabbing as much territory as possible, because that is what matters. Ultimately it is all about the territory in this one, because once you take their major city, they just sort of have cities pop up in random bits of territory, so you just want to grab as much as possible, and they should cap quite quickly. Oh, let's quickly force retreat our guy back in there, make sure we don't lose the capital. We've got those guys nicely encircled down the south. Okay, so there's their new capital. So we'll just keep trying to snake in, snake round, grab tiles. And as you can see, we've got this nice little couple units encircled here, which means they won't be on the front line, so we're just going to send our guys back to the front line actually. Make sure that we do keep pinning them there so they don't sort of break out, grab any of their land back, but we should hopefully have the capitulation shortly on them. And then we're just continuing down our focus tree to get rid of some of our debuffs from like the Long March and other stuff like that. Because yeah, you do start with a lot of debuffs as Communist China, because in their recent history I think they literally migrated across the country to this mountain province, so they're sort of stuck there. But there we go, we'll grab Shaanxi. And here we go. So we did delay this event with the requesting support from the Soviets. Now they normally turn that down in historical. I'm assuming that's hard coded for historical. But I don't know if on non-historical they might, for example, say, no, go ahead and execute Chiang Kai-shek. But yeah, I'm just going to activate the war with Xinjiang. It's a little bit early because my troops aren't on the border, but I just want to make sure there's not a chance of the nationalists starting the nationalists forming the United Front. So now that we're at war, we should hopefully be safe from that, I believe, because I think they'll invite us. So but yeah, we want to just try and finish this war as quickly as possible. But actually by starting off at war with them, they have actually come into some of our tiles there, so all their troops are now pushed to the front, so maybe we can try and snake around the back of them, get some good encirclements, and really just sort of stop them where they are. Okay, there we go, snaking right through. Let's pin that guy. There we go. So there we go, that's 4 units, 5 units I think, just trapped on that front, which from Xinjiang, to be fair, that's all I'd be expecting. Maybe 1 or 2 more might pop up as we go, but I think realistically 5 to 7 units is all you should be expecting from them. So we're taking their capital. We now look for the new capital up there right in the north. We'll try and push to that as quickly as we can. We'll go for support weapons, just to get those base stats up on our weaponry. Always handy, just base infantry stats. Okay, and then yeah, it's just a tile rush. So now that we've got them pinned, we should be able to just rush right round. Yeah, so there it shows 2 to 6 divisions. They're halfway to capitulations, and maybe if we grab that other capital, they'll be done. And a couple more tiles. There we go. And that's them capitulated, take all their land, because I mean it's all our core territory, which is really the beauty of this, is that we get instant access to all the manpower, all the factories. So look, they're 3.57 million manpower at our disposal, which we probably won't even use all of that. Maybe in the later wars, but right now that's way too much. Where do I go next? Okay, let's get the research slot. I think that's probably the best thing to do so far. And now we'll just keep recruiting. You know, let's just go for the 8 divisions that would fill out an army. And we'll shove them in there on a fallback line, and we'll train them up. And as you can see, Japan has gone in on mainland China now. So yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on that. And we'll join the war when it's convenient, and hopefully join a faction with them shortly, so we can come on into the war. But yeah, we'll just continue to build up sort of our core land now that we've just gained. Yeah, might as well finish out that road, the infrastructure. Okay, so I've just done the focus, which basically makes the faction. So we've formed the Government of National Defense, as you can see there, and Yunnan and Guangxi are asking to join, so we'll accept them both just so the Chinese have some more divisions on their front line. Now they may go ahead and join the war. I don't know if I'm going to join the war just yet. We'll bypass that focus though, because I want to make sure that we have enough time to build up and make sure that our divisions are actually strong enough to push the Japanese, because at the moment China's holding quite well, and obviously we don't want to expand the front line too much when we can hold well. Nice, okay. And yeah, it looks like China can overtake our faction in the 180 days, but you know, hopefully they won't, because they won't use the political power. But also it doesn't really matter, we just wanted the faction together to start throwing more Chinese, Guangxi and Yunnan troops onto the sort of Okay, so we can build a few more divisions, but I think actually we're going to just strengthen the divisions we got, because we're not looking to mass produce here. I think we're going to try and play a more supporting role. So let's get these guys up to 15 combat width, and that support artillery bonus I think is just too good to miss out on there. So yeah, we'll grab that. Now that is a lot of artillery we now will need, but you know, we have to do it. So let's throw loads of factories on there actually, and then actually we'll keep a few held back maybe. The next few will go on to guns, but we do have enough guns at the moment, so that's not too bad. And what can we train up? Okay, we could train up a few more, so we definitely have plenty of guns for these guys at the moment. It's just the artillery we need to really start mass producing. And best to get here? I think probably those raw soft attack and breakthrough bonuses hopefully should help. Okay, Japan really is pushing in now, if you can see that. They've actually breached the river line as well, which isn't great, but you know, it's quite a hard region. Hopefully they do the yellow river bursts, so that whole region should be a lot harder for the Japanese to push down, and they'll have a lot more attrition and low supply. Okay, so our troops now, they're all veterans. We've got a lot of artillery in them, not fully, but we've got enough. So we're going to join the war, we're going to try and attack in, maybe see if we can get some pockets on some of these divisions holding that Chinese border, because, I mean, realistically, if we could do that, that's almost a war winner right there. Like, that would be 20 to 30, maybe more Japanese divisions that would be stuck there. So let's see if we can make this lightning attack. Just make sure our general skills are all up. Here we go. Where there's support attacking, that should be where they're weak, hopefully. Ah, okay, they are starting to flood divisions onto our border, actually. So maybe we won't be able to push through as much. No, I don't really want their volunteer divisions, because then that just means I have to look after them, and at the moment I've got a nice little 24 stack. Engineering companies, so we can hopefully... because it does look like we're going to need to be more defensive, actually. Yeah. Would have loved to just sweep through and knock them straight back. I mean, imagine if we could just take 30 to 40 divisions like that. It would be absolutely insane, like a huge rout for the Japanese. But yeah, I think we're just going to have to do a fallback line, so we'll hold the mountains and this river line. We don't actually want to hold any more north than that, because those regions there are desert. So, and they're quite far from any supply hubs, so the aim is to try and bait them into those low supply regions, let them attrition, let them starve, let them just overall weaken their troops and waste a lot of equipment for ground that has absolutely no value. Yeah, so they're about to take over our faction if they want to. And we just continue to pump out factories. Maybe we'll start to switch to mills now as we build up and out of this war, but for now, it's not going too bad. Okay, so they are actually pushing us back very heavily. Okay, let's try and redraw this line. So hold the mountains, river. That mountain river tile hopefully should be good, and we obviously want... I'm assuming it's Taiwan, but then there's obviously the island of Taiwan, but, you know, Taiwan? I don't know. If anyone knows that, let me know in the comments how you should pronounce that, if anyone can send me the phonetical pronunciation or whatever. But yeah, I think I'll just go with it like that. Okay, that fallback line is not working, although they've pushed in now to a region I'm kind of okay with, so let's just shift click and put the troops on the front line. And then we'll just try and tell them to railroad into position, because they have actually broken that river line, but once again, it's low supply, so I don't actually think their troops will have any pushing power, even if they are now over the river, and we've got mountains there as well to help us hold. Okay, so we might as well do our anti-Japanese uprising, so I think we got it in one state maybe, so hopefully that just kills a bit more of their supply, knocks them down a few pegs, you know, just hopefully hinders them a bit more. Like, not expecting to win the war with that, but you know, every little helps sometimes in just attritioning and killing a bit of their equipment. Okay, so we just continue to hold this line. Hopefully this yeah, the bubble's turning green there, so it's starting to stabilise out a bit more. That's good. And those guys pushing in the north, they're just going to probably kill a lot more equipment than they have, and then they're not going to reinforce that quickly due to the low supply, so quite happy for them to keep bashing into the mountains. Okay. So we're now going to work on that People's Liberation Army focus, so this should massively help out our troops. Where are we? So yeah, taking down our organ. So that'll get rid of our debuff for army organisation, it should help our reinforce rate, and should help our troop training time, which, I mean, we don't need the troop training time too much because we're not really producing any, but it's all handy. It will be handy in the later run anyway, and we need those debuffs gone. And hopefully we'll start to get the buffs for our troops in a second as well. Okay, and then we go the next focus, mobile warfare. So that just increases our army organisation regain now. So we've actually gone the other way now. So we should actually have quite well organised divisions. So actually they'll be a lot better for breaking and holding the line. Okay, so we've boosted our relations a little bit with France. We're going to keep doing that so we can go down some of the focuses on their side of like our what is it? It's like an industry / military tree that you sort of have where they give you some factories, you also get some other things, it's like some bonuses, some tech boosts. It's a really weird tree, the Chinese one. I do like it because it shows you all the different sort of advices that they started to bring in and try and grab, but it's just such a weird one. Obviously, we'll mainly try and go down the path of the Soviets a little bit later on, but we want to try and grab some of the French bonuses now while they're still alive. Okay, so we're going to try now some ambitious pushing. So we have built up, I think we've made our troops a little bit stronger, and obviously we now have the buffs, so we've now managed to push and grab a supply line. We're going to continue to try and push maybe to Beijing, maybe to Tianjin, and I mean hopefully cut off big batches of their army. So there we go, we've got a small little encirclement there of, how many troops is that? Oh, to be fair, that's about that's 2 tank divisions and 4 infantry, so that is quite major. But we're going to let the Chinese clear that up, some of these other forces, the warlord forces, because we want to keep pushing on our objectives, and obviously where we've got a low amount of troops we want to prioritise what we're attacking. So maybe a bit ambitious, we're going to try and completely cut them off, take out Menguko and Jiangbei, and just sort of try and completely cut them off. Let's bring this line right down to just pile our divisions into this one region. Hopefully they can hold the mountains and stuff like that, especially against the low attrition troops. Okay, so France has fallen there, so actually we're done with their side of the tree. So do we go on the Soviets yet? No, let's go for their 100th Regiment campaign, because once that's done we'll have a decision that will massively boost our attacking power on core territory, I believe. So it will just help us massively, because all of this is considered our core at the moment that we're fighting in. Okay, so let's see if we can get Tianjin and cut off sort of the Japanese, or at least split their front, because I believe they still have some ports down there, but it would just really hamper their supply in the region. And we push up for Jiangbei. There we go, managed to make the cut off. And we just continue to keep pushing them out. Okay, we'll try and grab this other port, brilliant. So now we should have plenty of supply in that region, because I believe as well we've snaked along the railways, so we've grabbed up all of them. And oh, we have actually got a little pocket here because it looks like the Chinese managed to push in on another tile. So we'll get a few divisions out of that. Oh, they have re-liberated the other side of the Yellow River, but if we can push them back to that, that might be a good defensive point to let the warlords hold. Okay, so they've done a little bit of pushing in the north, but we'll just continue to beat them back. I mean, as you can see there, they've all got their little red supply icons, so they're low on supply. We should be able to cut through them quite well. Yeah, and just keep forcing them back. We may need to hold soon, depending on how weak or how strong they are, because our troops are taking a lot of damage now. Because I mean, you can see the amount they've just pushed. They've re-liberated all of Beijing, and we're now actually attacking Manchurian, Japanese, and Menguko territories. We'll see if we can try and get the snake off though on the north, just to really cut them off. I think these mountains are maybe going to be a little bit too tough to crack, especially when we have some low equipment. So we'll put women in the workforce because we've gone total mode for our factories. So that just keeps our recruitable population up. Not that we massively need it, but it's just nice because we were down to I think about 2% because I've also lowered our manpower and conscription to increase our factory output. Okay, and we'll try and snake for some more ports. Okay, so we've capitulated Manchuria now, so they are completely cut off. We're still trying to push into Manchurian land, grab some more ports hopefully. Some of these VPs would be great. And we've launched the 100 regiments campaign, so we do have those buffs now to our troops fighting for the next 180 days, I think it is, as a focus. But yeah, you can see they've still got some big naval invasions actually down in the south of the country. But let's see how far we can push in. Okay. Yeah, our troops are attritioning up here though. Ah, there we go, that's why. Because they've cut off our railroads and it looks like they might take the port in a second. Can we hopefully get in and hold that to stop the Japanese getting supply? We'll railroad our guys in. There we go, they're almost in. Oh, you saw how close that line was. There was literally maybe an hour in that. That's outrageous. Okay, and that's a pretty strong foothold for them now at that port. I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to go on a bit of cleanup duty. So we're going to grab our forces who are strong, have sort of that pushing ability, and we're just going to maybe try and push them out. So let's do the planning buff. Get our troops to the front line, get them all trained up, get them all organised, ready, so they can hit with maximum power. Got their 100 regiments still. And there we go, we're just crushing them out of the port. Let's send everything at the port, try and stop them keeping in there. And there we go, just wiped those units. We'll now send them down to this next little one, just to kill that one unit there, why not? And then might as well sweep up these last few guys in this low supply area up in Manchuria, because, you know, just be handy to make sure that they're dealt with, so we've got all our land back. Alright, don't need to do planning speed on this one, because they should just pretty much crumble to us. And lovely. Okay, where to next? They have actually, this has all been unified down here. This looks like a huge invasion. So what's our best way to tackle this? Okay, I think we're going to go down here. We're going to try and split them in half. I think that's the best strategy. We're just going to continue down the Soviet path there for just some better stuff. I mean, we've got loads of support from them and loads of opinion of them. Because I guess we're both communists, we've done the reaching out, so we get a plus 25, so that should stay for quite a while. Okay, so here we go. Can we cut them off here at the coast? Because that would be very nice. Get this guy in here. Ambitiously snake for the ports just in case we can quickly break through while they're undefended. Although that Manchurian division just got in there in the nick of time. Although maybe that might be the push now. Well, we'll see how far it goes. But at least we've now split those two naval invasions for each other. So now we can work on trying to kick them out one at a time, maybe. Can we grab a couple more divisions just here and kick them clean out? No. Okay, so they did have something in Qingdao. Fair play. Let's shove everyone on this front here. Set a front line. And let's get them on that front. Can we motorise them yet? Yeah, I think so. That's worthwhile. Just make sure that we're trying to supply our guys as much as possible in these regions. Okay, staff office plan, just quickly boost them. And there we go, let's push in. And we've moved over to the Grand Battle Plan Doctrine just because mass mob tends to mean you get more buffs to infantry and your troop amounts, which I don't think we're actually going to need. And I think what was better for us was those early bonuses to defence, which now obviously start to get replaced over the course of Grand Battle Plan with some more offensive doctrines. Okay, they are pushing him back up north, but I do think this is more important to clear out some of these troops, get the encirclements, get the kills, and just wipe out more of their troops. Because I think as well, if we can free up more of the Chinese forces and the warlord forces, then obviously they can go back and hold those lines. We're going to go for another research slot. I think they are all locked behind factory amounts, so where we've continued to expand, build up our factories at home, obviously taking out those 3 nations quite early has really helped us get that bonus. There we go, a nice little 7 or 8 divisions there. So we'll just try and clean them up and kill them off. Let's give them our strong infantry expert. I don't know if those actually apply, but hopefully they do still give that little bonus, even if it's only like half the bonus, because I know sometimes half passes down to the next person. But yeah, okay, we can get everyone on the front now. Let's try and snake for that port at the back, because it looks like they're weak. There we go, it's open, so we'll pin this guy and make sure he doesn't retreat back in. We'll grab that tile to the north, and then we'll just completely crush them out of Qingdao like that. So, there we go. One of their big naval invasions cleared up. Okay, how's it looking up north? Okay, I think we've got enough divisions to keep it from just falling apart, so we'll let them continue to hold on up there, and we'll bring our forces down to try and liberate the Shanghai region, take back Nanjing, the capital. Let's go to the new trucks, and might as well start working on the new guns too, because I think we've got quite a decent stockpile of guns. Hopefully as well, we're grabbing a lot from these encirclements. And there we go, raw firepower. And let's go, let's see if we can crush in, get across that river, let's take Nanjing. And see if we can just quickly sweep up a few of these cities. Great, taking back the capital. That should really help them out with supply as well, the Chinese, because obviously their starting capital will have all the built-up supply lines, industry and all that from it, so they'll start to actually increase probably. Get them back a bit more of their production. There we go, let's keep sweeping up these forces here. And let's just try and push down for Ningbo, get those ports. Let's not go for the new artillery just yet, because we are a little bit in a deficit. Can we take Shanghai? There we go, nice 3 units crushed there as well. I don't know if we've got any more from little encirclements, but we'll keep trying to go. So now we'll try and push to Fuzhou. Get the guys there, start off offers plan, get that planning speed up. Okay, you can see they're really starting to thin out on this front, so I think we are actually probably killing a lot of their units in these encirclements, and I think they had started to probably stretch themselves quite thin across their lines, especially after some of our earlier encirclements as we took Manchukuo and all of that region. That's why it can sometimes be quite a good thing in the Japan War to try and stretch that front line. So going on the defensive isn't so much of a bad thing, because their front line stretches, and then you can push in, exploit, make those encirclements. No, I don't think we need any more advisors, because we don't have a navy or an army at the moment. No, we have an army, we don't have a navy or an air force, that's the one I meant. Obviously we'll go infantry offensive, because we are just pure infantry pretty much, with a little bit of artillery. Keep going for the buffs, and yeah, let's up our factory output and the amount of factories we can have. To the next port, let's go. There we go, taking the next one, more supply for us, less supply for them. It's all that matters realistically in this game. especially these sort of wars where there's so little supply hubs and supply depots around. It's all about holding supply. Okay, improved artillery. We can just continue down that, get the next level. And what should we get next? Ah, there we go, 100% ahead of time bonus for engineering companies. Let's go with that. Okay, there we go, we're starting to crush them out. They've done a little naval invasion up there again. Maybe the warlords will kick out, if not we'll grab it on the way back north. That's fine, it just means more troops actually stuck and wasted. Okay, we'll send our guys fully around it now and we'll just try and maybe directly attack the port. Quick staff office plan and then in we go. So we know about this experimental mechanised unit. I just don't think I need it. So I'm just going to disband it. Maybe that's not the best option, but I've got my 24 units. I can't be bothered to do a supply. We're going to start to maybe grab some more army now though. So yeah, we'll start to grab 2 new batches of 12 units, so we get a whole new army. And then we'll train them up to level 3 before we send them anywhere. And there we go, another nice few Japanese divisions dying in the ports of China. Okay, and then as soon as they finish that job, we'll send them back up north to sweep up those remnants from that other naval invasion. It does look like the warlords did a pretty good job actually. Let's grab them, let's railroad them, because China is so vast across. Oh, it looks like they've actually pushed them down to just the one port now. And then the remnants who come out of that, we'll tell them to get on straight to the next thing. Oh, they're trying another naval invasion. They've managed to land a troop up there. But I don't actually think they'll get chinged out because that's not a high enough percentage. I mean, I'm hoping the Chinese will also throw another division in there to block it, but I think that should be safe, and that's just another Japanese unit dead basically. Just landed with no port access, so he will should be wiped out. Yeah, lovely. Alright, we're immediately going to switch to the new gun because we do have enough equipment. We are actually over the amount that we need for the equipment at the moment, so we might as well keep producing the better guns. We'll just take a time to obviously upgrade to the newer guns, and we'll keep importing that steel from the Soviets because we want a stronger Soviets. You know, factories we can give to the Soviets are always beneficial. We're not going to give them everything, but let's give them when we can, because we will look to them as a future ally hopefully once this war in China's done and we look to turn to take the rest of China. Okay, sweeping through, let's go. Okay, now's the real push. Can we start to take some of these supply hubs now in China? Well, in Manchuria, that's what I mean. Okay, looks like they're holding quite well. I mean, to be fair, with the lack of naval invasions now, this will be the majority, if not all, of the Japanese force. Oh, they're trying for Qingdao again. I don't think they'll land that. Okay, so we've got a little breakthrough here. So we've taken a few more ports off them. We've taken Mukden, that's great, and now we'll see if we can push for the Manchurian capital, grabbing the railways as we go, just to try and keep ourselves in good supply. Sure, France, Britain, you can send troops through my land. I guess it's all starting to kick off in the Pacific now, as Japan goes in on America and the Allies. It'll probably happen soon. Okay, great, to the capital. Let's just keep pushing for victory points. Let's see if we can't just completely crush them out. Of Manchuria, this has been a really good offensive actually. I've had very good offensives on this Japan war, which I think is just where I tried to build. I didn't try and mass produce units, I just tried to build small strong units, which is something you can do as one of the warlord nations or the communist Chinese. Obviously when you play as main China, you do just need to try and push for. You do just try and need to push for obviously a lot of units to cover your ports, help your allies, and all of that. But obviously, as some of these smaller nations, you can afford to build better troops, especially after I manage to take all those early factories. There we go, push them out of the other region, and there we go, Manchuria is actually defeated. Okay, so now we will try and push quickly for Korea, and obviously sweep up these encirclements, and then hopefully we should get the peace still for taking all of the Japanese land. I believe that event still happens. We'll continue to produce more troops because we will need them for the upcoming war with China. I mean, you can see the amount of Chinese divisions there are. They've got 103 according to the stats, so... okay. Let's try and push down, just sweep up these ports, and then everything should be encircled, and that should be good. Okay, keep going down doctrines. Yeah, we'll take whatever supplies people want to give. We'll let people use our country to walk through. That's perfectly fine. Come on. I'm hoping I get the option for the peace deal, although it may go to the regular Chinese, so to the nationalist Chinese, so that's fine. Although I am the faction leader still, they never actually took control, so hopefully it does come to me, and I get to sign the white peace. There we go, North Manchuria is secured, we've just got that little remnant pocket there. Let's sweep them out. Oh, they are literally down to 50. Well, 50's being a bit over the top. They've probably got about 40 divisions, if that. So, I mean, we have really, really destroyed them. I guess it would just be a case of if their navy's weak for the Allies to finish them off. Okay, there we go. Sweeping up the last few in Manchuria. Here we go. Last 4 units. Oh, 5 or 6. 7 or 8 maybe, and there we go, they're dealt with. They hold no land on the mainland. Okay, so the event never actually fired, or it fired for the Republic of China, which is very annoying because they clearly didn't accept it, which is annoying. But yeah, so anyway, we're going to continue down our path anyway. We're going to go after Vichy France while they're here. The Axis shouldn't get in. Oh, the Hanoi route is closed because of that. I didn't realise they counted as France, I guess. I mean, I guess I should have, because Hanoi is in Vietnam, so... yeah, of course. Oh, well, actually it looks like a vassal swarm might take out Vichy all on its own, but... yeah. We'll just continue to research, and our troops will get there in a second and hopefully should sweep up any forces that are there with their artillery and stuff. Yeah, so it's really all kicking off now. I mean, it's 1942, so the Soviets have been invaded, the US are into the war, you just saw there the Mexicans have come into the war. So this was a great time to attack the Axis because they are very distracted elsewhere in the world, which means we shouldn't get any Panzer divisions hopefully coming in here. Maybe we'll get a couple of Vichy France divisions as we push down the peninsula, but hopefully the Germans weren't preempting the fact that, or, well, not even preempting, but don't care about the fact that Vichy France is losing territory in Vietnam. And even if they are, hopefully their tank divisions shouldn't get here anytime soon, because they would be a pain to take out. Okay, so we'll just continue now to produce units in little batches of 12, just to increase our army. Okay, come on. Just continuing to sweep down. Yeah, sure, we'll take equipment, we'll let people use our ports. I mean, Not that we actually own any at the moment, but you know, if in the future we get some ports, I mean, we might have Saigon in a second, so I guess that could be helpful. Stability and war support's okay, probably not the best, we need to get this higher. Okay, so there we go, one China policy is triggered, which kicks me out of the United Front, but does look like the communists immediately want to ally with me, which is probably because I've joined the war with Germany, so it means both the Allies and the Soviets popped up there as potential allies, but we'll go with the Soviets obviously because they're more of an interest for us holding that closer border, and likelihood is the Allies would kick us out for generating enough world tension, so we take the easy win with the Soviets, who should keep us in their faction. That does mean the land has now flipped to Guangxi and China, but that's okay. Maybe we'll still get to hold this bit because we're now not in the faction with them, so actually yeah, this is just our troops in this land fighting now. Okay, so we keep taking cities, let's try and grab this last port up and then they'll be completely cut off. And then once that's happened, that's probably where I'll leave it for this episode, and we'll pick up the second episode with the Chinese Civil War, which I am going to try and trigger during all of this chaos, and we're just going to go for it. Probably try and do it 1v1, well 1v3 I guess it is, because I won't want to call in the Soviets because they'll be busy with the Germans, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed the video. Obviously if you have, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you want to see more, and obviously any other mods, playthroughs or anything you can think of, let me know and maybe I'll give them a go. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. So thank you, bye bye.